Hey guys, welcome back to Death Stranding. Let's crack on. Yeah, so everything's going swimmingly so far, except for, as you noticed in the last video, or the first video should I say, the game did crash, so I've done a couple of things to maybe help that. There appears to be a fix where you have to copy some custom files over, but I haven't gone to that kind of length yet. Just kind of did like a hard reboot and some other bits and bobs, and hopefully we should be okay today. We'll see how it goes. But I've been thinking about this game all day. It gets into your head, this world. It's great.
It's a miracle either of you made it back. When someone with dooms hooks up to a BB, your feelings and memories cause feedback, like with the speaker. It amplifies fears and stress, and runs the risk of taking you to a place from which you will not return. I'm sorry, but this BB has been pushed beyond its limits. Disposal is the only option.
Sam, get cleaned up and come to the president's office. We need to talk.
Sunset, the day is ending. Let that yawn out. There's no pretending.
Can't get rid of our BB after how much he helped us. I'll skip on. And you can see it on this screen, like how you're leveling up as you're going along. So there's a few different categories. You see bridge link, delivery time, delivery volume, cargo condition, and miscellaneous. I can't remember quite what level I got to on my first playthrough, but needless to say, all of the I'd maxed out all of the connections with all of the places that you can go to, so it was relatively high. But I'm ready to do all that stuff again. So this game deserves a thorough playthrough, I think.
Sam, I thought I told you dooms and BBs were a dangerous combination. Huh, perhaps a shower is in order. You're still covered in chiralium. Don't want the president to see you like that.
The hell you talking about? She's dead.
You're upset. Is this about BB-28?
Go fuck yourself. I'm not your errand boy.
Well, in any event, it seems it owes you its life.
No, we owe the kid our lives. You too.
As you say, I shall look after it. Give my regards to the president.
It's almost time to go, Sam. Here. It's a dream catcher. Wear it when you sleep, and I'll keep the nightmares away. I'll always be with you.
Episode 2, Amelie.
Good morning, Sam.
Sam, this is Di Hartman. There's a private room set aside for your use. Bridges perk. Take a moment to clean up, wash all that chiralium off, then come to the president's office.
Okay, so this is kind of our like save room where we can read up on that terminal over there that we can't use yet, where I can read up on logs, listen to the in-game music and stuff like that. Over on this shelf over here, which Sam's going to point to, there'll be little kind of army figures of all of the kind of major events. So this is obviously the truck and the two guys that we went out with, the corpse disposal guys, before that huge kind of ridiculous BT monster thing appeared, and then there was the explosion and all that chaos. So I think what generally happens is the most recent thing that you've seen goes onto the table here. So this is just some probably to mark our first kind of encounter with the BTs just outside the crematorium, and obviously society's fallen and everything's in pieces, but you still, monster energy is still going, obviously, because you can explode the country and get rid of everything, but you can't kill monster energy. I think that's what they're trying to say here. Like there's a couple of things like this that are that feel really kind of tacky, but hey, it's in the game, and it doesn't really take away too much from it. If you drink a few drinks from this table, you'll see my stamina slowly kind of like getting an extra bit of a boost from 100%. So it goes to about, I think it goes to like 125% or something like that. So you have 3 drinks. We can skip this animation to speed that up, which I will be doing because we don't want to sit watching him drink a million times. But yes, that gives you a bit of a boost to your stamina, which is always good. I didn't actually press to do that, so that's a bit weird. But anyway. And over here we have shower and toilet facilities, which we will use a fair bit because you actually get some items later on from using the shower and the toilet, which is a bit weird, but we'll go through that when it comes up.
Sam, can you hear me?
For fuck's sake. Isn't anything private anymore?
Oh, no. Except for taking a shower and going to the toilet, that is. I take it you were getting yourself cleaned up. Good. Come to the president's office as soon as you're done. She's waiting for you.
You did well, Sam. Thank you. Bridget may no longer be with us, but her legacy has a chance to live on. Sam, listen to me. America, Reconstructionism, her dream isn't dead.
I don't want to hear it.
This is the face of our new hope. Our new America.
Amelie.
My mother may be gone, but I'm here. And you, Sam, you're here too.
Been 10 years since you saw each other, right? And in all that time, she hasn't aged a day.
He knows why. My body's still on the beach. I don't get to grow older. But you do, Sam. You look good.
So you're serious then about reconnecting everyone and everything?
Someone has to succeed Bridget, Sam. More importantly, someone has to carry on her legacy and see our country rebuilt. Samantha America Strand, our new president. A new beginning for our people, for our nation. Under Amelie's leadership, we'll re-establish the UCA, the United Cities of America. This is how we'll rebuild our country. But we'll need your help to do it, Sam.
No, I'm through with this. I said my goodbyes to all of you when I said them to Bridget.
We never forgot about you, Sam. You ran away. You cut us off.
Amelie put together an expedition. The best of Bridges won. And went west.
I led them past craters in BT territory. I kept them safe while they searched for survivors.
Never once missed a BT. Saw him coming a mile away.
We convinced community after community to join the UCA, and we left behind our own people to help them. It took us 3 years, but we managed to make it all the way to Edge-Knot City.
All the way to the Pacific. Jesus.
Yeah, but then everything went to hell. The team was wiped out, and Amelie was taken.
Taken?
I'm not being kept in a cell or anything like that. I'm allowed to use their facilities and to speak with you whenever I want. I just can't leave the city.
It's all to safeguard the continued independence of Edge-Knot City. Well, that's what our keepers are saying, at least. They want the UCA to leave them be. Amelie's their insurance policy in case we don't.
Who are these assholes again?
Homo Demons. Militant separatist group. They run Edge-Knot City.
I've heard of them. Bunch of terrorists who go around towns killing people and leaving craters.
Right. Nothing's off limits for them. Not even engineering void outs.
You think the suicide that took out Central Knot was one of theirs?
Could be. There are extremists like the demons everywhere, plotting in the shadows. They're decentralized by nature. No one organization to rule them all. Just a common ideology.
I know not everyone shares our vision for the future. If we Americans don't come together again, humanity won't survive. I carried my mother's message to people all across the country. But not everyone was willing to accept it.
More than a few would rather stay isolated. Keep to themselves. Go it alone. Like you, Sam. They think that America can only be rebuilt by force, by men who tell them what to do, who take away their freedom and put them in shackles.
What'd you put on me, huh? You know better than the demons. Just another kind of cult.
They're not shackles, Sam. They're a symbol of our bonds. That's what we need right now. Not to stand apart, but to come together, to form chiral knots and reconnect.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Amelie started. The people she left behind have been hard at work, setting up Chiral network terminals. But these terminals are still isolated. We need you to bring them online. And for that, you'll need a Cupid. This contains all the necessary security and operations protocols to integrate a terminal into the Chiral web. Take the Cupid west, Sam, and reconnect the people of our great nation. And when you get to Edge Knot City, find Amelie and bring her home.
After that, I'll take over the presidency and carry on Mother's work to save the country.
This was Bridget's dying wish. This is how we'll move forward.
Please, Sam. We need you.
I'm Sam Porter Bridges now. I'm not a Strand. Hell, I'm not even part of this outfit. You all saw to that. I'm not getting involved with you, or anyone else, ever again.
Wait!
See? It's like I'm not even here. Same as it ever was.
Sam! Sam! Hold on. Stop! Listen to me. America needs you. Both of you.
Yeah, covering the world in cable didn't bring an end to war and suffering. Don't act surprised when it all comes apart if you try to do it again. Round and round it goes. Connect, reconnect, it's not that simple.
All right, Sam. Just take it easy. I get it. You don't have to commit to anything now. Why not get some rest?
Good idea. We all need our sleep. Leave it too long and you're liable to reconnect with the other side. The necessary maintenance has been completed. Various adjustments and fine-tuning for your benefit. You can use it again. For once, it would seem that Dooms and BBs are a good combination. Or perhaps the two of you have something of an affinity for one another.
Sam. Listen. You are Sam Strand.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. My name is Sam Porter Bridges.
It's a funny word, Strand. A strand is part of rope or bond, while stranding means being washed up on the shore. And being stranded is when you can't go home. I'm stranded now, Sam. Here on the shore of the Pacific. Thousands of miles away, but our bond still holds. You're free, but we're still connected. Don't tell me we're not. I'll be waiting for you.
Wait!
Good morning, Sam.
So yeah, every time we go to sleep, we get
Sam, this is Die Hardman. You were out like a log. Must have been beat. Private rooms come with all the basic amenities. Shower, toilet, etc. Drop in when you need to rest. Inspect your gear, review info, or whatever else. If you have any questions, feel free to ask our staff. But before you do, why not check things out for yourself? See how Bridges operates these days.
okay. So yeah, every time we go to sleep, we get a. I bet you could use going to the loo at this point. We get a little bit more.
Sam, Hartman here. Researcher devoted to uncovering the secrets of the beaches and the Death Stranding, as well as those of dooms and repatriates. When you relieve yourself, a certain amount of chiral matter is flushed from your system. Chiral matter can adversely affect hormone secretion and nervous function. There's a correlation between exposure and the development of phobias, as well as, in extreme cases, violent and suicidal impulses. Chiralium contamination has even been postulated as a trigger for the onset of dooms. Allow me to collect a sample of your excretions for my studies. They provide a non-invasive means to monitor your exposure to chiralium and your overall health.
Okay, so like I was saying, every time we go to sleep, we get a little bit more of the kind of stuff going on the beach, which is the beach is slightly different from the seam, which is where we were swimming back after we died.
Nice.
Well, after kind of, and where we were kind of swimming but above the beach, and then we kind of reconnected with our soul or physical body. We were the soul connecting with the physical body, something like that, and then we came back to life. So the beach and the seam are kind of very similar, and I think when I first played it, I kind of thought they were the exact same thing, but there's like kind of slightly different like differences to them and what they're like.
Hey there. Believe we've met. I oversee delivery operations as well as maintenance and repairs. Nice to have you on board. I'm Mama, in case I didn't mention it before. Those there are strands. Not just used for packing, by the way, but for identification too. Take a closer look and you'll see. See the red there? That's your blood.
Yeah, so you can customize your loadout a little bit in here. You kind of get more options as time goes on, I think, and you're able to unlock more stuff. You can check on BB, which is always good, because you know you got to check the little BB's okay.
Sam, this is Deadman. I calibrated your BB based on physiological data we collected from you earlier. It's still just a best guess, though. After you take it out for a spin, we can check if you're in sync and tweak the BB sensitivity as needed.
I keep pressing A instead of X, because I played this on PlayStation, and when it says, I'm used to when it tells me tells me to press X. I'm used to pressing X on a PlayStation, not on an Xbox controller. So it's that's going to catch me out a lot.
This case will remove any chiral matter still clinging to your suit. Speaking of suits, Blue is for delivery personnel. Red for medical, orange for corpse disposal, and black for security.
I quite... oh, can I only change the sunglasses? That's not good. You can change other stuff later on, I'm pretty sure. You can change stuff about your backpack and whatnot. That like give you little bonuses and stuff. But we will see more of that as we go on. So basic... Oh, we've got the terminal now, so we can just have a quick look at that.
With that terminal there, you can browse the bridge's database, which has info on a range of subjects. You don't have clearance for everything, but there's still plenty you might find informative.
Okay, so you can view your orders. The data thing, it's just kind of general kind of gameplay tips, how to play the game. We're not going to need to look at any of that kind of stuff. Although if you're playing for the first time, it can definitely be helpful. A log of all the things that have happened recently. The music player, which is... I found out about a couple of great tracks from this. I wasn't a fan of Bring Me the Horizon too much before hearing this track, and then that kind of made me have a look into their more modern stuff, because I have a few of my friends like their older stuff, and I wasn't a big fan really, even though I do quite like heavy music a lot. But all of Bring Me the Horizon's new stuff seems to be like a fusion between like metal and like maybe like more electronic elements, and it would just for me they're one of the first bands to do that really well. But anyway, and then also Pop Virus is a cracking song, and there's like pretty much every track on this like on the soundtrack is really good, but those two in particular are favourites of mine. And then there should be more stuff in... Yeah, we haven't got any like kind of interviews we can read yet. That's like where some of the really interesting world building and backstory and all that kind of stuff is. So, with pretty much all that stuff out of the way, you can also use the sync and pull some faces and take some photos, which BB likes. And interestingly, mirrors seem to work the same way as in Death Stranding as they do in Cyberpunk, which is like, because one of the things that a lot of people noticed about Cyberpunk when it was released, pretty much because it's the first thing that you do, your characters look in a mirror, is that you the mirror can turn off and go completely opaque, and 40 likes from BB. That was a good one. Nice. Awesome. Thanks, BB. But yeah, so just there's lots of silly little details like that. But you'd expect that in a Hideo Kojima game. He loves to add little Easter eggs and cool things that you can do.
Well, have you had a chance to think it over? Chock full of chiralium, but safe for you Dooms guys to wear. That's all you'll need to go forth and reconnect the world. To make us whole again.
I'm a porter. I don't care about connecting anything. Or making knots. But I'll do what I have to help Amelie out.
Listen up, Sam. The terminals Amelie's people built in the towns and cities they passed through on their journey west are called knots. The infrastructure's there, but the Cairo network is offline. Right now, it's only capable of transmitting voice communications, sometimes wired, sometimes wireless, and a small amount of data. So, unless the necessary data stored on site, our chirograms won't show up. Amelie and the other Bridges members you've seen around the place are grams generated with local data. In case you didn't know. Anyway, all you've got to do is find the knot, connect your Cupid, and bring chiral communications online. Once you connect it to the terminal, you'll be able to initiate zero-time massive data transmission with the UCA network. And just like that, you'll reconnect us not only to each other, but to our past. All the lost and fragmented junk data will be compiled and restored, like bringing a dinosaur back to life from a fossil. $4.6 billion years of history on Earth. All the wisdom and knowledge we lost since the Death Stranding will be ours again. And that, my friend, is how we'll beat this thing. Once you establish chiral communications, generating grams won't be an issue. You'll also be able to use chiral printers. Won't be long before we're able to send all kinds of things through the wire.
Except anything original. Or that's got a soul. Nothing real. Just copies.
True. Which is why we'll still need porters like you. Before and after we're made whole, we'll need men in the middle.
No rest for the wicked, huh?
BB.
Yeah, well, idle hands and all that. We'll give you the details at the dispatch terminal. Make sure you check it upstairs. Drop's waiting up there too.
These shoes look like they've done some serious miles. Shall I dispose of them?
Wait. Hold on. There's something I want you to look into. My blood seemed to set those things off. Happened more than once.
Set them off? How do you mean?
I don't know. You took my blood, didn't you? You tell me.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
I'm sorry, Lisa. Don't worry. I'll take care of him. I promise you. Baby. Baby. Baby, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Steady.
And every time we connect to the BB, we get some of Mads Mikkelsen's characters as like kind of a story going on, which is super intriguing. All these little mysteries scattered about makes for like a really deep feeling world. It's great, even though a lot of the dialogue is overdone. Let's leave it at that.
Sam, this is Die Hartman. Your current objective is to extend the chiral network from here to Port Knot City. But don't think you can make a beeline straight for it. Signal won't carry that far. To cover the distance, we need to utilize knots. Think of it like tying ropes together to make a longer rope. The first of these knots is a Bridges Way station. Go ahead and take a look at the order. Deliver whatever they need, and connect the Cupid.
Okay, so we're about to kind of see what the whole game's about, really.
Sam, order summaries may contain information critical to your success. Make sure to review them before getting underway.
So it gives us some hazards there on the right, like potential BT, steep environments. You see the red circles under where it says capital, not city, and some water hazard there, and I'm not sure, maybe falling hazard. So some suggested items. So it's suggesting that maybe we take a ladder and a climbing anchor, and then just a summary of what we're delivering. So, but generally, like I said, it's a bit like plotting a route on the map. If you know kind of where you're going, and you know the map reasonably well, then you kind of have a good idea of a path to take, and you generally kind of carry equipment that you find useful yourself all the time. So let's load all the stuff that we're delivering.
Sam, we've supplied you with some rope and a ladder for this run. They should help with the steeper inclines, and the ladder will also make a halfway decent bridge if you need to cross a river. Right now, I figure you're thinking about how you want to handle this order.
Okay, so they're giving us a ladder and a rope. So let's they're giving us 4 ladders and yeah, and 1 rope. Can you use it? Yeah, okay, so that stacks. So there's three ropes per stack. So we've got 3 ropes and 4 ladders. So it's pretty much overkill for this mission. But I suppose they're wanting you to test these things out. So we got some boots on with 0 damage. So that's all good. And yeah, so let's head out.
Order assigned.
So you see his weight there, 27.3 out of we can carry a maximum of 120 kilograms. So this is the gameplay loop. You pick up your packages for your delivery, and you try and keep your balance.
Triple check your loadout, I take it?
Yeah. So yeah, we can. This is where we can access his ladder and his climbing anchor and any other tools that we got, or we can take a leak if we wish. And then the other side's got a canteen, which we will almost certainly be using, and the top one has got like wearables. Basically, we're not wearing the glasses out here; they look stupid. Yeah, okay, cool. Right. So, because we're reasonably well, if I go into the menu here and go to his cargo, because we're not carrying much, and it's reasonably well balanced, we're not going to have too many issues in falling over or anything like that as of yet. But auto arrange cargo is your best friend. So if you see it says Y, auto arrange cargo. If you pick up a load of stuff randomly, best thing to do after that is to hit Y, and it'll auto arrange everything into the what it thinks is the best way to carry it. So if you see, we've now got all of his ladders on the outside of a suit, which I suppose technically spreads the weight a lot better. But one thing to remember is stuff that's on your suit like that is going to degrade quicker. And then remember, hold A to confirm rather than cancelling like I nearly did. So we're not going to really have any problems balancing here.
Sam, you see that sign someone left over there? You can leave some of your own if you'd like. Messages, warnings, words of encouragement, whatever comes to mind.
Is it, okay. Put a speed sign down there, give you a little boost as you're going past. Okay, so that's pretty much the game. So we're going over this way. It shows up on the map. It gives us a distance if we.
Sam, even the best porters have been known to lose their cargo. But you're better than the best. You've got what it takes to finish what they started. You're
If you come across any abandoned shipments, consider taking them to their intended destination.
It's easier than you might think. See, all our packages are tagged with Bridges IDs for easy tracking. And your Odra deck is equipped with a scanner which might detect said IDs. Which is a roundabout way of saying that that thing on your shoulder can help you locate mislaid shipments.
Yeah, so all this is labelled for capital, not city, which is where we've just come from. So to be honest, it's not really worth us picking it up, unless we're going to go back. But I'll pick all this stuff up anyway to show you show you something cool. Another mechanic that uses the kind of half online feature. And you'll be able to see that we can kind of quickly pick up cargo as we're going past. Don't need to kind of stop and readjust anything, it'll automatically just stack on top of what you've already got. Man, these environments are so detailed, it's great.
Remember, Sam, every parcel is a promise made to a person in need. And they're counting on you to deliver.
Okay, so here we've got a post box, which if we activate, we can drop off any lost cargo.
Good work, Sam. I see you brought in some lost cargo. Feel free to submit it here for processing. If you come across any more while out on a run and don't think you can carry it to its destination, you can always put it in storage. It'll be safe and secure until another porter comes along to finish the job. Even if it has to pass through a dozen more hands before it arrives, you can rest easy knowing you did your part.
Okay, so all the stuff that we've picked up here, we can drop off. Oh no, we want to entrust everything. And then another player can pick them all up from a post box and deliver them. Just to save us going back the way we've just come. And you get like a mediocre amount of likes and stuff from it. But yeah, post box. It's all good. So we've got a bit of a choice here. We can either kind of traverse this, scale this part of the mountain here, or we can go right to the beach and go through like a BT area. If we check the map, I'm sure it's going to say. I'm sure it's going to say. Can we see the rain? Yeah, or is that something that happens later? Maybe we don't get that until later when we connect a certain building to the network. So I'm gonna take the climbing route so we can have a look at like some of the equipment, like using ladders and ropes and stuff. Another one for capital, not city. We're gonna leave it. There doesn't seem to be any structures, but I am online,
Come up
so.
against a sheer cliff or a steep slope. Don't forget about the ladder we issued you. Be sure to try it out. I'd be interested to see what uses a seasoned pro like you might find for it.
Let me just check that we're online, because there doesn't seem to be any. Yeah, it says in the top that we're online, so maybe it's just not showing up yet because it's one of the first runs. So we've got another ladder here. Game must just leave it there for you. So can see there's timefall, which means we're close to a BT area. So if we'd have gone around the outside of the mountain there, then there would almost certainly be a load of BTs. So we're gonna get a ladder out here, and oh, you can use them. You can use them like going up and down like this, or you can also put them like lengthways, as he was saying before, to like scale some like a river or something like that. Either way, they're very helpful. And general thing is ladders to go up and across, and climbing anchors to go down. But you can use climbing anchors to go up, but you obviously have to be on the top of a structure to place them. Now we're out of the rain, and that line there that we just crossed signals as the chiral network coverage. So the capital not cities network stretches to here, and then we're going off the grid when we cross it over here. So that's our destination there, and so we can drop a climbing anchor here. Oh, wrong button. So if we get his climbing anchor, and pop that here, and make sure we've got hold of the rope. And like I say, the structures that we put down, some of them will appear in other people's games, and other players can then like your structures, or there's no such thing as a dislike. You can't really. The only thing that you could do to mess with another player, I guess, is to put something in a really bad position, or put a misleading sign down or something like that. But generally, you don't see many, if any, of those. Okay, so we're down over the other side here. Gonna navigate some of this terrain. So I think the areas are kind of based on somewhere like Iceland or something like that. Even though I know it's kind of set in America, but obviously this kind of like dark green, green and like really dark grey kind of rocks kind of environment. Just the effects, like the glare and the mist and all that kind of stuff. It just lends it to such a realistic kind of view. And I think over here is going to be a good place to use another ladder to try and cross this river here. So if we go to a place that's relatively like a relatively thin part of the river, and then lay a ladder down. Again, this is another one for capital not city, which is where we've just been, but we'll pick it up anyway. Seeing as though we're close to his destination, we may as well pick up whatever we can carry. So let's get another ladder out. Let's get another ladder out. And maybe we can drop that onto that rock there and then jump from there. Oh, no, it's probably best to go from here, isn't it? Oh, we've got that heavy thing on him. Forget about that. But like that kind of is a good example of the momentum that I was talking about in the previous episode, where like your character will, if you're carrying something heavy, will just kind of carry on in the same direction. If you go too fast, or if you're going down a slope or something like that. So we'll probably ladder down here. And we're safely across. I think there's another like river on the other side, but we'll just. I don't think that one's as deep. But we've got loads of ladders, so we may as well just put one down anyway.
2 wheels up.
2 wheels up. Okay. Kind of want it to go above the surface so it's a bit more visible. Maybe something like that. Yeah. So already, even with those just couple of things that we put down, as journey back would be would be a little bit quicker. We'd have the 2 ladders to cross, the climbing anchor to get up, and ladders on the other side to get down. So even just using that little tiny bit of equipment for that one run will make going through that area a little bit quicker. And that kind of amplifies over the course of the game as you get better equipment and you're able to build more of it and put more stuff down.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Make delivery. Deliver requested cargo. Smart drugs. As opposed to stupid drugs.
Delivering cargo.
Thank you. We've all been feeling the loss of Central Knot City. No one seemed to know what it meant for the organization, or the UCA, or us. The oxytocin will take the edge off, and that'll be a big help. Won't be long before we're back on track. We may have a luck. This is great. Thank you again. Yeah, everything looks to be in good order. And soon our way station will be too, I hope.
Cool, and also beans. I'm just going to turn my headphones up a little bit. First time I hear one of these sounds, I want it to be pretty loud. Sorry if any of it bleeds onto the mic, but that's a price I'm willing to pay. New title earned. People think of you as a porter who can be relied upon for basic orders, but with time and effort, you may one day be recognised as a true legend. So now we're a handler.
You're with the second team, right? Where are the others?
Dead. Caught in the void out.
No way. That one blast got them all? And what, they just sent you out on your own? I mean, if it was just a delivery, that'd be one thing. Porters come through from time to time, but the second team was meant to bring the Cupid. They were going to connect us up. 3 years we've been waiting for help. 3 years. And they sent us one guy. Shit. Tell me you brought more than the Oxy, at least.
I've got the Cupid.
You... Really? So it's true. They finally got it working. Well, then you just might be the answer to my prayers. So what are you waiting for? But you put us on the goddamn grid.
Are you ready? Turn your speakers up. Oh, that's some nice sound design. We like that. Okay. So, yep, it shows the map here of us connecting the very first strand, first of many. So we can now construct our own postbox. Exciting times. And as we connect, we'll then see other players' structures online. Although I'm not seeing a vast amount of structures, but maybe that's just because we're only seeing the stuff that we can make ourselves.
Connection to Capital Knot City confirmed. It's really happening. Just like Amelie promised. We can finally do what we came here to do. Hey, you're headed west, right? Gonna be a lot of people happy to see you. Guess you'll keep on until you hit the coast, huh? Which means you'll get to see Amelie in person. Oh, that's something. That is really something. Me, I've never met her. Only seen her holo messages back when I was with the first expedition. Well, anyway, you best be careful on the road. There's some bad people out there. More than good, some say. But I don't need to tell you that.
Thank you, Sam. By bringing that way station into the Cairo network, you've put it in direct contact with those of us back here in Capital Knot City.
Right. What's next?
West of the way station are a couple of structures our previous expedition put in place. And beyond them is your next destination, Port Knot City. It's on the shore of a crater lake that formed after the first void out. Your objective is to link up Port and Capital Knot. But to do that, you'll need to utilize our facilities as additional waypoints. They'll be essential for establishing a stable connection. Given the distance we need to cover, we're looking at using a distribution center and a power station, as to which you should head for first. Start with the distro center. We've got some cargo that needs delivering anyway. Check the nearby delivery terminal to pick it up.
Good work. New order.
First thing we've got to do is drop off this.
Your hard work's paying off, Sam. Thanks to the increase in network capacity, HQ is now in a position to provide you with additional materials and support. Should prove useful.
Yep. But the first thing that we're going to do is deliver this lost cargo because it's heavy. So this is similar to the post box. We can drop it if we're not at the location it's meant to go to. We can deliver it to entrust it to another player, like we did with the cargo that we left at the post box. Okay, so like they were saying, we can now fabricate a zone.
Sam, you can use that PCC to build a post box.
Thanks. Yes, so we can use this PCC to build a post box. So what have we got? We've got 2 ladders. We've got 2 climbing anchors left. I don't think we need much more than that, really. Maybe do 1 more ladder, and we can do a PCC. In fact, make that 2 PCCs. In fact, no, make that 1 PCC, because we don't really like post boxes aren't that useful to be putting down. Okay, load all. We've still got some stuff on us. Hang on the tool rack maybe, and yeah, okay. We're gonna put it on the left hip. That's a bit more balanced. I know that makes like no difference whatsoever, but whatever. Okay, so let's have a look at these orders then. So construct a post box and deliver some rare metals. So what we're going to do is first off, we're going to do just the post box. You'll see why.
To build a post box, you'll need to use a PCC.
Yep.
It goes without saying.
Yep. We know. Okay. Nope. Yes. We already have one though, so we're all good. Yep. Because we're gonna have to come back here once we've built the post box.
Sam, assuming you've got your PCC in order, head to the site I designated and build that post box, would you? You should have no trouble finding it if you check your map and compass from time to time.
So we've got a handy dandy ladder just here, which will already make things a little bit easier for us, so long as we can get onto it. There we go. Because the stuff that we've got to deliver to the other place, it's not the heaviest stuff in the world, but it's reasonably heavy. We'll take those resins.
Sam, remember that prolonged exposure to timefall damages cargo containers. Don't stay out in the rain any longer than you have to. Sam, I see you've arrived at the designated site. Good. When you're ready to proceed, activate your PCC. Use it to build a post box within the area.
It's like 3D printing on steroids. Yeah, we're pretty good at this.
Good work, Sam. That's a fine-looking post box. If you access it and select Share Locker, you can share cargo and equipment with your fellow porters. Deposit a ladder and a climbing anchor, and I'm sure someone will eventually come along who could use it. If you've got enough supplies, why not leave some behind? Do right by others, they'll do right by you.
So doing that mission separately just means we can pick up the pick up all the other bits and pieces we need for this other job separately. Whoa. This ladder's done nothing but hurt us. Oh well, we can't win them all. How come the other ladder went off as tool belt? Did we lose that? I wonder. Why did it go onto his back? Strange.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until the...
Right, okay, so now we'll take all these, is it metals? Yeah, rare metals. Don't need to fabricate anything. So it's a reasonable amount of cargo, but nothing we can't handle.
Order assigned.
So you see that, like, the kind of shiny gold colored boxes are generally your kind of mission boxes. So that's his destination over there. There's a fair bit of fair few hazards actually in between us and us and that place there. So we've got a couple of options. We can eat. How do you? I forget how you dodge. I think it's the same as jump. That's we might be needing that soon. So there's
Restrictions lifted.
we can keep to the right and try and avoid some folks on this left side, but then we'll have a slightly harder time of it when we go through the BT area, which we're going to come into contact with soon. But I think we're going to do that. We're going to try it that way. I think the first time I did this mission, I think I crossed back over the river and did it from the other side, which means you have an easier time of it with when you come across the BTs. But there's another hazard that we're about to we're about to kind of see what that is soon. It's just I'm gonna bang on about it all the time, but the visuals are just incredible, and the sound design also incredible. Right, so that sound means we're coming up on the area where we're gonna have another problem to deal with. See these little yellow scanners? That's about to go off, and we're gonna get scanned.
Heads up, Sam. Your cargo's been pinged. Move. Now, before someone has eyes on you. Get to your destination ASAP if you don't want to get caught.
Right, so this introduces another type of enemy, which they're called mules, and they're guys that they're human enemies, but they want to steal your cargo basically. So I think what we're gonna do. Do we drop one here? No, I think we drop a ladder here over to that climbing anchor over there. Big brain thinking. As long as it lets us do that. And we'll like this person's rope. Nice one, Senka. Have some likes. So that's another player's one. Hopefully that gets us to the bottom here. It might not go the full way, but who knows. So the things that were kind of glowing yellow there, that was telling us that there's mules over there looking for us. Because like I say, there'll be one of those kind of area of effect pings, and then they'll know where your cargo is. Okay, that's as far as this takes us. And then pinged us again, but there's no need to rush too much. We don't want to wreck the cargo. There we go. We're alright. But as we kind of come into the perimeter of this area anyway, where the mules are, so there shouldn't be a problem for too much longer. We're going to have other problems soon. Pro tip, moving the camera is to move your running direction is a lot better for balancing your cargo than moving your character itself. If you turn with the left stick, your directional stick, then you're much more likely to fall over.
Mules gave you trouble, huh? Good thing it was raining. Even they know better than to mess with BTs.
Yeah. BT time. Oh yeah, we should probably drink some of his canteen. Refill the stamina. Way station west of capital, not city. That's where we've just come from. I think we're going to distribution center, so we need to look out for packages for distribution center more so, really, because there's probably going to be a bunch of packages around here. Anytime you get caught by BTs, you drop all your packages. So if someone's been caught by BTs and been unable to get the packages back, they'll all appear in other people's games. Capital, not city. It's not really what we want. Stuff like metals and resins and that kind of thing, you want as much of that as you can carry, really, because it's always useful for fabricating stuff. And I'm going to demonstrate here the auto range. Although actually it's not good to have the mission specific ones on your person, but anyway, whatever. We're not too far away from his destination. Only thing is, now we're near BTs, so we're going to slow down considerably here. I'm going to kind of keep on the edge, like on the hill here. I don't think the hill area is going to be as congested as down there, so we'll see. We'll test that out. No doubt pretty soon we're going to encounter a few BTs whichever direction we go. Yeah, there we go. That's us sensing that there's BTs. So it's saying get ready basically, and then it's going to get dark and our Odredex scanner is going to pop out. I may be wrong, the hill could have more BTs than down at the bottom, but I'm sure we'll find out.
We've got company.
Try to say that there's one over there, isn't it? But I don't see one yet. It does get, these sections can get super tense. One right there. Where's the one over there? Some of them are quite small, and some of them don't. It could just be behind, like just behind the rock. Kind of looks like we want to go that way, but then again, like I said, it looked like there was one hiding behind the rocks. There's definitely one in that direction. Oh yeah, you can kind of see part of it in the rock. Kind of trapped a little bit here. And also remember that the more time that we spend out in the open in the rain, the more damage this cargo gets. So you've also kind of got that playing on your mind a little bit. So there. I wonder if we go around the right side of this rock, are we going to be better off?
You on the other side.
Such a cool little animation, such a cool little device. Everything, like, kind of the whole atmosphere to this game is fantastic. Even if it was just this and there was no story, it'd still be amazing. Okay, yeah, I think we're through it. Yep. Either that or BB's got... Oh, yeah.
Something wrong, Sam?
I don't know. Kid doesn't look so hot.
Nothing to worry about. Its functions are temporarily suspended, but they can be restored. I can perform the necessary maintenance at a distribution center. Hurry, though.
Right, so there might be more BTs, but we're not going to be able to see them. But I think luckily for us, I think we just threw it. We just, yeah, we threw it now anyway. So.
Strain on your BB exceeds sustainable levels. It triggers the production of harmful compounds, and the body, in essence, begins to attack itself. It's called autotoxemia. If your BB's not performing to spec, drop by your private room and see if the incubator helps.
A little bit safer footing across the river there. But we're gonna have to cross this anyway, which is a bit of a wider one. Maybe over here where there's more rocks we'll be better off. So we're off the chiral network again. I think we can safely carry some more metals. We're gonna want to rearrange that though. Some resins there as well, we'll take them. Maybe we put another ladder down here. I just want to kind of use as many structures as I can, really. The more that you use, the less that you carry in as well, and you can build more stuff at any of the places that you go to. So it's pointless to be carrying a load of stuff around with you all the time. The more you can offload, the better. And if it makes your traversal a little easier, then even better. And over there we see a bike, much like the one that we saw at the start of the game, but its battery's flat. We can't use it. Not yet, anyway.
Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
And hey, this looks familiar, doesn't it?
Rest is advised.
And that usually means a cutscene when the game wants you to rest. It usually means there's a cutscene coming. Boom. So we've managed to avoid all BT so far.
Way station folks told me all about you. Sam Bridges, with the second expedition, right? The guy expanding the chiral network on his lonesome, when he's not out making deliveries. So what'd you bring us? Let's see it. Talk about above and beyond. Thanks. Must have had to pass through BT territory to get here too, didn't you? They weren't joking when they said you were a legend.
Awesome.
Okay, it's time. Do you mind connecting us to the network?
Not at all if we get this awesome sound again. I'm gonna have to make like a beat or something that has that both of those sound effects in. Maybe combining them even, because the first one's got that really kind of chunky, like film vibe kind of robot alien sound.
As always, thanks for bringing more folks into the UCA.
But then that second sound has got like more of a kick drum kind of electronic kick drum kind of really kind of punchy start to it. So I reckon combining those sounds is actually a good idea. But I'll have to test that and get back to you. New interview data acquired. Cool. Hey, there we go. There's a few more signs and structures. Cool beans. Oh yeah, you can like tilt the map around so you can see like the topography a bit better, which is pretty slick.
Looks like we're on the chiral network. And with those materials you brought for our chiral printer, we can produce supplies for you here as needed. Think of it as our way of returning the favor. Now head west and keep on doing what you do.
Cheers, bro.
Good. The distro center is on the network.
Sam, do me a favor. Take your BB to a private room and connect it to the incubator.
Yep. Can I recycle these all these resins and metals first? How do I select multiple? Oh, X. Yep. And that'll just mean that it'll add to the store, like the stores of materials at this spot, and we can use them later if needs be.
Thank you for your continued support.
I think Jacksepticeye said something that I really agreed with in his when he was playing this game, that the fact that it's America is almost a negative. Not to say anything bad about America, but more so the fact that it's a real location. Kind of, I think it would. He was saying it kind of has less impact than if it was a fictional location, because if it's a fictional location, kind of like everyone all around the world would be able to connect with it in a similar kind of way. Whereas with it being actually like America, obviously it's going to hit home a lot more for Americans, but everyone else in other places in the world, it's not going to have quite as good like a connection kind of an effect. But anyway, it's a small gripe, isn't it? But I really agree with what he was saying there. So let's rest in the private room then, like he says.
Dead man, you there? Little help?
Okay, Sam. Remove the pod and connect it to that incubator.
It's in.
Good. A temporary excessive stress. Easily addressed if we return it to its mother's womb.
Mother?
Located in the capital Knot City ICU. Brain dead, of course.
You mean still mother?
Correct. A still mother's womb facilitates a connection between the world of the dead and the BB. And you, in turn, connect yourself to a BB, granting you the ability to sense BTs. These pods were designed to simulate the conditions inside a still mother's womb. BBs need to believe they're in one at all times to function properly. However, we can only maintain this deception for so long, which is why we must periodically update the environmental data by synchronizing it with a still mother via the chiral network. There. The update is in progress. Right now, the pod is synchronizing with the still mother in Capital Knot City and reconfiguring its settings based on the latest data. Returning your BB to the womb in this manner will temporarily reduce its stress levels. That being where it technically belongs, of course.
Kid looks happy.
I'll try adjusting the oxytocin dosage. Autotoxemia should set in much slower from now on. You should remember that BBs are just equipment. Try not to get attached. Each one has been physically removed from its still mother's womb. A process that renders them unpredictable and prone to failure. No BB on record has remained in service for over a year. It may need to be retired before this expedition is over.
And then? You saying there's no way to keep my BB alive?
You must understand, there is still a great deal we don't know about BBs. As we expand the chiral network and recover more past data, perhaps we'll find our answers. Oh, right. You asked me to look into why the BTs might be reacting to your blood. I spoke with Hartman. We should have your results soon. Anyway, get some rest. You and your BB are both exhausted. Good night, Sam.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Sam? Can you see me?
How are things over there?
Still not under guard, still not chained up, still can't leave. But if you can keep making connections, if you can get to me, we can go back east, back home. Thank you. I mean that. It's bad. There are fewer and fewer people in the cities these days. No one's having children anymore. But humans aren't made for living alone. They're supposed to come together, to help one another. And if we as a people can't do that, if we can't reconnect, then, well, it's like Bridget said, extinction.
Come on. Rebuilding America isn't gonna get rid of the BTs. As long as they're still around, there's no escaping it.
But at least we'll have hope. I'll be waiting, Sam. Waiting for you. come and find me.
So I've got a squeaky chair. I think I need to
Hello, Sam.
get a
This
bit
is
WD-40 or something.
Since you're awake, it might behoove you to freshen up. To that end, why not take a shower? It's good for the body and soul, and also my research as it happens.
It might behoove me indeed. One thing I was thinking of then was, I don't know if it's intentional in this way. It's definitely something that's intentional for other reasons, but the way that Deadman and maybe some of the other characters.
Sam, this is Hartman. Deadman relayed your request to me, and I oversee BT research. I'll be taking a sample of your shower water in order to study the effects your bodily fluids might have on a BT.
Study other people with dooms?
Everyone in Bridges, myself and Mama. Results thus far are inconclusive. But you possess other singular qualities, being a repatriate as well. I must confess to a measure of optimism.
Processing fluids. Waste products. Chirelli. Dispensing.
There. Take the sample with you. Should the opportunity arise, try using it on a BT. I'm curious to see how they react. Who knows? It may even prove beneficial to you. There was an old research paper detailing the effects of bodily fluids from individuals like us on BTs. It is only by recovering these materials that we can unearth the knowledge of the past. Not just the Death Stranding, but also the mystery of your body's unique properties and even our doom's affliction. There may well be hope for humanity. Sam, I have no interest in rebuilding America. I want to recover the past. 5, 4, it's almost time. 2,
1. After you make your connections and nothing happens, then what? I said, then what?
Sam, sorry to bother you while you're taking a break, but I figured you'd want to hear this. Hell, maybe it'll help you rest easier. We received a number of messages addressed to you. I've not taken a look myself, but I gather they're mostly from your clients. You should see if they contain any useful information. Mail can be accessed via your cufflinks, as well as the terminal in your private room. There's something else I'd like to share with you. With the Chiral network, we now have the power to reclaim our past. Data once thought lost forever from every corner of America can be pieced back together from fragmented records. Our archives are still a work in progress, of course. But as we expand the network and integrate more way stations and cities, we'll be able to recover more and more information, such as the previous expedition's logs and reports. Everything they sent back was lost when Central Knot City was destroyed. Now, we've managed to restore some already, in fact. You can access them from a private room terminal or your cufflinks by selecting Archives. Might make for interesting reading.
Okay, so like I was saying, I don't know if it's intentional, but the way that some of the characters talk about BBs is like, you know, it's like more like equipment than actually, you know, babies. And kind of the cold kind of matter-of-factness that they speak to. Obviously, it's intentional in the way that it's a lot of the systems in the game are designed and conversation are designed to kind of give us an attachment to BB. Of course, it's intentional in that way, but I wonder if it's an intention. If it was an intention there to kind of make people wonder about. Some of the things that we do as like everyday kind of activities and stuff that are actually kind of maybe not inhuman, but like or maybe inhuman, or like that to us seem completely normal and we just do all the time. whereas to go to a different culture or a different time or something like that, and people would like kind of look at some of the things that we do in kind of shock at like kind of how can you not realize what you're doing kind of a thing, or what you're saying or how you're saying it. I just thought that was an interesting point when in that previous cutscene where Dead Man was explaining about some of the things about BBs, and he does talk about BBs as more like like a compass or something, like some piece of gear that you take out with you, rather than actually something that could have been like a fully fledged person, So I just thought that was I wonder if that was intentional or not. But anyway, so these kind of messages are usually just kind of like bits and pieces from the guys at the way station saying, "Oh, thanks for this package," and maybe a little bit of backstory on their life and stuff like that. They're generally not like hugely important, but still there are like interesting like little tidbits and stuff and bits of history about each area and each character. But we're not going to go into those. Some of the interviews though, what I'll kind of do probably is get to a point where we've got quite a few of them, and then read some, and if they're really interesting or really important ones, then I'll read those on I'm going to say on stream then, but I never stream, you know what I mean, in the video. So yeah. No doubt, actually, this Dead Man explaining Bridge Babies is probably one that's important. So let's read this one anyway. So, Bridge Babies. So this was 1 year ago, and it's Dead Man, and he's saying, "Look, I'm kind of new here at Bridges, so I don't know if any of this will be useful to you. Still, I'm happy to talk about BBs if that's what you want. They call me Dead Man on account of my familiarity with the dead. Get it? We've always been on good terms, you see. Used to have regular little chats back when I worked in the morgue. Anyway, that's also the reason I work on BB maintenance and research, to learn more about those who are no longer with us. But I digress. Fact is, BBs were already being issued to our forces in the field before I joined Bridges. What's more, research into the little guys had already been conducted long ago, but no one took the plunge and put what they'd discovered to practical use. Still, what did that mean? What that did mean is that when Bridges wanted to build our own BBs, most of the work has already been done for us. We just needed to follow the instruction manual, so to speak. Which isn't to say that we have any idea how they work, not how they can detect BTs or how they can connect this world to the other side. We still have much to learn about our little friends, but one thing is certain. Their continued study will lead us to a greater understanding of the Stranding, and of life and death itself. That much I can assure you. Well, I think that's about all I have to tell you today. Hopefully I'll have something new to share next time we chew the fat. See you around, I guess. Okay. So a little bit more on BBs, but nothing too crazy. Maybe the Hartman one on Timefall might be interesting as well. So Hartman's the guy who's been talking to us about taking samples of our bodily fluids and all that kind of stuff, and wants to know how it's gonna affect the BTs. He's kind of he's kind of one of the lead scientists looking to research of why all this is kind of happening. So this is about 3 years ago from Hartman, and he's talking about Timefall. He says, Timefall was first recorded when the Death Stranding occurred, and despite all the years that have passed since then, we are no closer to understanding how or why it accelerates the passage of time for the objects and organisms it touches, or why it immediately turns to ordinary water having done so. Some researchers have gone as far as to posit as this process as stealing time. As for why timefall is observed only in certain places, all that we know for certain is that it is somehow affected by local chiral concentrations. This is merely a hunch, but something in me suspects that the Death Stranding may have warped our perception of the passage of time. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, you understand. We humans can conceive of our own deaths, and even the possibility of a place beyond death, yes. We have the capacity to conceptualize the future, an evolutionary advantage which aided our development as a species. Well, what if Timefall has given us a new supercharged vision of this essential ability, one that will take us to the next stage of our evolution? Perhaps we wouldn't need to hole ourselves up in the not cities. So I just want to read that last bit again. So this is Amelie Hunter, but something in me suspects that the Death Stranding may have warped our perception of the passage of time. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, you understand. We humans can conceive our own. Yeah. So he's he's positing maybe that the it might not be something physical to do with Timefall, but it's something that something that's happening mentally with humans' perception of time. That's interesting. But yeah, so we'll probably like I say, I'll switch it to offline mode. We don't want to do that.
Sam, we've received a distress call from the distro center staff. Check the order on the delivery terminal as soon as you're ready.
Okay. But let's check on BB first. I mean, come on. Bless his little cotton socks.
Tired, huh?
Do you know what? This is about... We've got the network error then, and this is about the same time as it crashed last time in the recording. Interesting. I'm not going to kind of stop it and start it again, because I want to see if I can kind of test when it's happening. So let's get his stamina up. You see, it's a lot faster when you skip it, but yeah, like I say, it's always worth it to have an extra boost of stamina before you leave. And a bit of Mads Mikkelsen storyline, perhaps.
That isn't what we agreed on. You said you'd do everything in your power to save BB.
We are. But we cannot release your son just yet. Believe me when I tell you it's for the best.
Says the woman in the mask who's done nothing but lie to me.
All that, no.
Sam, there's something I forgot to tell you. It's about managing your BB stress levels and reducing the risk of autotoxemic attacks. There are a few things you can do if your BB starts showing signs of distress.
Such as?
Such as take a moment to look after it. Cradle the pod, gently rock it, that sort of thing. Out of curiosity, how's it doing at the moment?
Before I answer that...
Something wrong?
When I hook up my BB, I see things.
What kind of things?
Like a face, someone I don't know, calling to me. There's this room, too, with other people talking, but I can't make out the words.
Lead-through effect. Didn't I warn you about this? You're mistaking the BB's memories for your own. They're false flashbacks, nothing more. Let me explain. A BB is harvested from its steel mother at around 28 weeks and placed in a pod. To be clear, this is before it's even born. The procedure halts its development. But even at 28 weeks, its sensory systems have matured enough to process external stimuli. It is more than capable of encoding this information into memories, which can bleed into yours via your connection.
So who's the man I saw?
Someone from the medical team, maybe? Or a BB technician, does it matter? The BB has been in circulation for a while now. It's been handled by a lot of people. How should I know which one made an impression?
'Cause you're the expert.
No one's an expert, Sam. BBs were developed decades ago in secret. They're your quintessential black boxes. We may use them, but we don't truly understand them. Believe me, I've been trying to learn more, but almost all of the old records are gone. If I find anything out, I'll tell you, all right? Dead man's honor.
Yeah, so just gonna say it's that whole bits and pieces of the story that we're getting of Mads Mikkelsen kind of stuff. Really, really kind of intriguing mystery going through it the first time, but still, it like going through it the second time. I'm obviously not going to give anything away, but going through it the second time, just as intriguing, knowing what you know after the end of the game.
While you're resting, I ran some network diagnostics. Beryllium monitoring and holographic systems are nominal. Unfortunately, our printer is offline. I know, after all the trouble you went through to bring us those materials. This one's on us. We ordered a part a while back, but it never arrived. The printer needs it to communicate with the chiral network. Mules must have snatched it, caught that porter en route or something. If I'm right, they'll have taken it to their drop site, which is smack dab in the middle of their territory. Don't suppose you'd be up for stealing us our property back? Can't think of anyone more qualified than you.
I think that's what we're going to do next before connecting this other, because we should have 2 orders here. So recover the chiral printer interface and, collect chiral crystals. That one's easy enough. We'll take both of these. So we're not going to go to the other place just yet. So get both of these orders.
Mama's added a Watchtower Schematic to your PCC. If you don't have it on you, consider fabricating one. You never know when you'll need to recon an area.
Okay, so it's giving us a PCC for that. And, yeah, let's go. I don't think, maybe, we don't have any ladders anymore. I used them all, didn't we? We've got 3 PCCs now. Okay, can I go back and fabricate one? Okay.
Mama's added a Watchtower Schematic to your PCC. If you don't have it on you, consider fabricating one. You never know when you'll need to...
Yep. Okay. Maybe is the fabrication screen after we've headed out? I don't think so.
That thing you're holding is a crystal collector. Now, as the name suggests, it provides secure storage for any crystals you gather.
Allow me to describe your quarry. Chiral crystals appear gold to the naked eye and are frequently found in formations resembling human handprints. Surrounding rocks and debris tend to float a few feet above the ground. And they are most commonly found in areas with high precipitation. Got all that? Rain, floating rocks, golden handprints. That's your trifecta. Look for these 3 things and you'll find the crystals. If you've been especially observant, then perhaps you already know where to look.
Order assigned.
Yeah, let's make a ladder at least. Oh no, we can't. That's why, because we can't use the chiral printer. Yep. That makes sense.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Let's place sign at the BB sign at the top, I think. BB. Okay. It wants us to build a watchtower. I don't really want to because I don't find them particularly useful, but
Sam, chiral crystals are pretty small and can be difficult to spot with the naked eye. I'd advise you to use your ultra deck to point you in the right direction. If you want to survey a wider area, though, you might consider building a watchtower and relying on its sensors.
Yeah, we're back online.
Anybody hear me? Hello! I'm Sam! My name's Sam too.
Basically, when we're shouting out like that, it shouts into another person's game, and then they can shout back. So when you notice that someone's kind of close with these footprints and that kind of stuff, then I don't know, it's just one of those other cool little things that they do. So we want some more crystals. They're quite easy to find. We've passed a load of them already. I think we've already got enough for the mission just by picking up that one batch there. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, we've collected enough for the order. So we can just kind of carry on picking them up as we go now. Right, so we need to go collect this part, which means going into a mule camp. If you remember, the mules are the guys who want to steal us cargo. We didn't really see them because we kind of got away from them quite quickly in the last area. They were just kind of like before we fought the BTs over there.
Scanning bridges ID.
Sam, Iowa crystal deliveries are a little different from usual. The process is pretty simple, though. Access the delivery terminal and drop off any chiral crystals you're carrying.
We could do that before we go out, just so we've completed the mission. We're already here, aren't we? Anyway, so may as well. We might get some bonus points for doing it quickly. Oh. Nope. Oh no, we have to recycle though.
Got some chiral crystals for us? These crystals only form in places with elevated chiralium levels, which makes me wonder if expanding the network had something to do with it. Damn, son. That is a lot of crystals. Maintenance and R&D will both get their fill, looks like.
So that's an interesting thing that is mentioned there. Okay, we get to do build a container repair spray if we want.
Excess chiral crystals can be deposited at any facility. They'll be added to the stores held on site. These local stores include materials that you can draw upon to fabricate equipment as needed.
Okay. Yeah, so that's an interesting...
Good work, Sam. It seems your connection level is increasing. As your connection level increases, larger quantities of resources will be made available to you at our facilities.
Okay, so that's an interesting point. The guy was bringing up. He was saying the chiral levels have gone up since more active. They've been building more chiral structures and such like that. And we're now a skilled handler. Who can carry more cargo. Excellent.
Oh, before I forget, this is for you.
Is this where we get a hat?
That's container repair spray for patching up cargo containers. Good for dealing with timefall degradation and all that. Useful stuff if you and your cargo have been through the ringer. We've added it to your supplies list, so it's readily available if and when you need it.
Yep, good stuff. Container repair spray. We definitely don't need 3. Private locker. Private locker. We can carry one. Oh, we've also got this EX grenade as well. That was the kind of bodily fluids that was that Hartman analysed from when we took a shower. So we'll take that out with us, and then when we see some BTs, we'll use it on the BTs like he suggested and see what happens. But yeah, so there's all this kind of talk of expansion. And
there is a correlation between elevated chiralium levels and increased crystal formation. This may well be the result of the network's expansion. You needn't worry though. Local chiral density is still within an acceptable range. If you find any more, be sure to collect it. You'll be well rewarded.
If you come into more chiral crystals, you can submit them at one of our facilities. And you can deposit other resources too, along with any items you don't need. Everything has its value. What we don't use as is can be broken down into components for R&D and other applications.
Yeah.
Still got work to do, Sam. Let's not keep people waiting.
Yeah, I know. Like I've been trying to talk about.
Weapons restrictions.
Anybody home?
Like I've been trying to say, they're expanding the network and building more structures and all this kind of stuff, and there's increased.
Call it a rule or a habit, but most mules almost always bring stolen shipments home with them. Find the post box, steal back the cargo. Simple as that. But be careful. These guys are armed. If this goes sideways, be ready to fight.
I'm ready. Yeah, so we're expanding the network and building all these structures and utilizing all the chiralium and all this kind of stuff. But then the chiralium density is going up, and that's a bad thing. So, is what we're doing helping, or is what we're doing not helping? That's the kind of thing it's bringing up there, really. And even if it isn't helping, are the benefits? So this is Strand here, which we can use to kind of take people down. If it isn't helping, are the benefits from connecting everybody? Do they outweigh the problems caused by increased chiralium? Oh, you need to like that. You gotta like anything that you use. Them's the rules.
Thanks for the help.
Remember, Sam, before you approach the mule drop site, we recommend you use a watchtower to confirm the location of the post box containing our cargo.
Yep. Can we do that from here? Can we see it from here if we build it here?
Yeah.
Let's try it. Keep pressing the wrong buttons. I think we might be better off building it like over here somewhere or something. Yeah, that's probably better. So the cliff's not in the way. Like I say, I don't often find much use for the towers because, I mean, they are good for scanning an area, like, but
patience is a virtue.
Also, going to the area is good for doing that.
Construction complete.
Construction options. So we can see the mules here. I know it says ladder and mule boots, but that's just the packages that the mules are carrying. So anytime you see a package moving, that usually means there's one of these mule guys. Okay, so we can try a little bit of stealth action here. We've got a strand on us, so maybe we can take the guys out without being seen.
Sites are rarely deserted, so remaining undetected is key. Keep a low profile and move slowly to minimize noise.
Thing is, we don't have any mission cargo on us, so if they try to scan us, it's not going to come up with anything because we don't have any like cargo with ID tags. which is what they're after, really. Should have put a... I don't like that ladder. I would have put a ladder across here if it would fit. And that guy's totally going to see, isn't he? I mean, we could go up through the cave and go. I think that there's a timefall shelter, maybe. I don't think there's a timefall around here, though. I'm pretty sure this does lead to the other end of the camp. It's a nice little cave, though. I forget how to parry, but I'm going to try and remember. So, we will get into fights with mules. That's just, you know, it just is going to happen. So I will remember how to parry, but... Right, and before we take anything, it's usually good to take out all of the mules in an area. And then you can potentially avoid a fight at all. Because if we pick up some cargo now, especially the cargo that we need for the mission, then we're going to be discoverable if they try and search for us. I think that means one of them saw us. Yeah, maybe he saw us. Okay.
Spotted by a mule. Find somewhere to hold up. Look around.
I want to try and remember how to fight them now. Harry, what did it say? Which trigger? I couldn't see which trigger. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes really easy, but I just can't remember which button it is. Tell me which button it is. Tell me again. No? Okay. We need, we're gonna die here if we're not careful. I keep forgetting my buttons as well. Have we got any cryptobytes? Whoa. God damn it. How come we can't eat a cryptobyte? Oh, because we're full upload. Okay. What you can do as well is throw a package at them. pick it up. If we can pick stuff up, we might be able to throw a package at him. Pick up package, maybe? Is it going to let me do it? What the hell? It's not even giving me the option to pick stuff up. Is it because I've got my strand equipped? Pick up a package. Oh my god, please just do the thing that you're supposed to be able to do. Okay. Should be able to throw this at him. But I can't. I don't know why. There we go, that's a throw, but... Ow. Throw it, throw it. Throw it at him. Let me see if it'll tell me. Hold left trigger and press and release right trigger to throw. Okay. I'm sure that's not how you do it with a parcel. Alright, okay, let's just I just want to, because like I say, you can dodge them. How do I throw it? Throw. Okay, we've got a strand out over here. No.
Been busy? Seems all the mules in your vicinity have been incapacitated.
Yeah. Okay. There is. I'm just not doing it right. There's a way. For starters, you can throw packages at them. I know that for sure. And then also you can like it says, you can parry their attack with your strand, but you can also, I'm pretty sure you can parry their attack when you've got any weapon out just by dodging at the right moment. It's something that you just kind of get into the swing of doing, and I can't, because it's been a while since I've played the game. I'm just not doing it well. Where are these supposed to go to? Oh, these are all for distribution center. Can we carry it? Yeah, I think that's all we can carry it. But we did get some extra stuff there, so we're all good. And we didn't die, which is also good, because, like I say, I could have just, from when that fight started, I could have just, obviously just been punching and kicking. But I was trying to figure out the mechanics, and it just wasn't happening. So unless, I think we can do all of that stuff straight away. I don't think any of that stuff is kind of like walled off until later in the game. Definitely throwing packages seems to be one that you should just be able to do. And it even tells us about parrying with strands. But hey, I'll get the hang of it at some point, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. I know it's kind of like a timing thing as well. Spiral crystals.
Nice. There we go.
Doesn't look like the safest route. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit frustrating. And that's one of the things, there's not, I haven't got many negative things to say about this game, but one of the things that does stand out after a while is, it's inevitable really, because the game is designed to, work around the delivery and walking mechanics. Whereas it's not really designed for combat, so some of the combat can feel janky at times. Just to be safe here, it's probably a good idea to put a climbing anchor down. Which means with less chance of dropping the cargo. That's all. As we make our way down here. Still pretty steep though.
Mules. Damn addicts chasing a cargo high. Shame we gotta deal with their bullshit at all. Back in the day, AI did everything. Deliveries were handled by unmanned vehicles and drones. And all we had to do was sit back and let them work. It was revolutionary. Damn near singularity. No reason for it not to take off. But it didn't. People didn't like it when we took the human element out of the service industry. So, after some consideration, we put it back in. Made jobs no one really needed and gave them to folks who couldn't live without them. And there it snowballed. Now we got cults of cargo chasing crazies who get off on hijacking shipments. Jackal's always on the lookout for the next porter. Make sure you're not him.
It's hilarious how they like akin delivering cargo to addiction in this game. It comes up so frequently because these mules are supposedly like ex-delivery men that have gone that have just gone insane with like package lust. It's basically the evolution of all these people stealing Amazon packages off of people's front doorsteps. That is a really odd thing to me. And it's kind of like it's insidious as well in that you're not stealing from a big company who can handle it. You're stealing from your neighbours and.
Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Don't know who this person is with their kanji name, but I like it.
Keep on keeping on.
Okay, cool beans. We've got plenty of cargo here. There's a few lost orders as well we've got.
Back, are you? You trying to put the rest of us to shame? Fine by me. See you around.
Good work.
And the parts for the printer.
Time to get that chiral printer in working order. Sorry to push you through so much trouble, but trust me, it'll be worth it. Excellent. The unit doesn't have a scratch on it. Never doubted you'd come through for us.
Sam, how are your shoes holding up? Not too well, I imagine, conditions being what they are out there. Nothing ruins your day like shoes falling apart while you're on the job. Carry on like that, and it's only a matter of time before you injure yourself. I've arranged for boots to be added to your supplies. Bridges standard issue, so they ought to fit you fine. You should always carry an extra pair. But if you forget or run into trouble, you can fabricate another via a terminal at one of our many facilities.
Cool beans. Some new interviews. And we can now build a bridge. Hooray.
See you around.
Congratulations, Sam. I understand you now have access to a chiral printer. An extraordinarily useful device that can only function because of the manner in which our network utilizes the beach, enabling us to transfer massive volumes of data instantaneously. Since under normal circumstances, such transfers would take hours, if not days, some have speculated that the chiral network might, in essence, be a time machine. That it is transmitting data into the past. Suffice it to say, we have yet to fully grasp the fundamental nature of the network and the beach which we have come to rely upon. One might liken our relationship with it to that of primitive mans with fire. Is it useful? Quite. Is it dangerous? Undeniably so. Nevertheless, we have decided that the reward outweighs the risk. Furthermore, as the BTs are linked to the beach, it stands to reason that further study and experimentation could be of considerable benefit. The same can be said regarding you, of course. Rest assured, I will keep you apprised of what I learn. You have my word.
Good work. New order available.
Okay, so we've got a couple of new orders. Delivery of a power supply unit and construction of a bridge. Let's do both.
We've added a bridge schematic to your PCC. The first step is laying the foundation, after which you'll have to supply additional materials to finish the job. Plenty of rivers and canyons could do with a good bridge, you know. Take a stroll across one you built yourself, and I guarantee you'll be glad you made the effort. Give it a try.
We've already got 2 PCCs, so we don't really need more. and we've got 2 sets of boots, so we don't need more of them either. And it's going to give us all the metals that we need to finish the bridge as well. Okay, we're kind of at the limit, but we're going to get rid of all these materials pretty quickly. Come on, Sam, you're a machine. Look at all that cargo you're carrying. This is how you damage your back.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Okay, Sam. Make your way to the designated construction area for the bridge. The foundation should already be in place. With your help, we'll have the thing finished in no time. There should be a terminal nearby. Access it to submit additional materials.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
I'd have thought it would have let you place the foundation yourself, but hey. Whatevs. It's a useful bridge anyway.
Sam, looks like you found the site. There should be a terminal nearby. Access it to submit additional materials.
Sound design is so good. Strongly advise you listening if you're watching this playthrough, do it through speakers or headphones because it's great. TV speakers are never going to do it justice.
Bravo, Sam. That bridge should make life easier for a lot of people.
Let's add some metals and some chiral crystals. Upgrade it to a level 2 at some point. Just want to get rid of those metals off his back. Make us a bit lighter.
Just so you know, Sam, distro centers and the like are stocked with materials you can use to fabricate equipment. You can also take what you need to build structures. That said, there are limits to what each facility can spare. Check their terminals to see what they are.
So that's our destination there, the wind farm that we're going to now, if I don't fall over. Methinks there's going to be some BTs along the way. So who knows, maybe this will be the first time we get caught by them. Just get some cryptobytes whenever we pass them. Always useful. It might have been wise to rest before coming out over here and like refill all the stamina fully and all that kind of stuff, but we'll be alright. But again, just the scenery, man, it's so good. Like a lot of games would really oversaturate stuff and pump the contrast up and all that kind of stuff to make it look make it look super impactful and to make it pop, I suppose, for want of a better phrase. But they've done a really good job here in keeping things like kind of natural looking. It's still quite bright, but you know, it's not like crazy. Can we turn the tooltips off by any chance? I don't think it's going to help you guys much with the tooltips. And it's kind of stuff that I already know. Even though obviously I've forgotten some stuff, like how to how to fight the mules.
There we go.
I will remember at some point. I'll get back into this hangar doing it.
God damn it.
So as you upgrade structures, you can do things like add music, and also add holograms, and it increases the timefall resistance and all this kind of stuff. No, can I not? Lol. It says something about the menus, doesn't it? That I might have spent like, I don't know, maybe close to, or maybe even above 100 hours on a playthrough. It was a long time ago, but and the menus are still like sending me the wrong way sometimes. Oh, there's a data chip here.
Sam, if you stumble across any memory chips on the road, be sure to submit them via the nearest terminal. There's no telling what kind of rare and valuable data they might contain. You're sure to make someone very, very happy with your contribution.
Yeah, so we're seeing the effects of the wind here. Wind and a steep slope, making it pretty difficult to move. Another thing that we can do to help with stamina is to have a sit and a rest. I don't know if that's a wise idea when there's timefall. I don't know if it degrades your packaging more because it simulates that you've been sat there resting for a while. So we're just going to drink a bit from the canteen. Okay. So down here be BTs. So, and it's quite a steep slope down here, so we want to be reasonably careful if we can. We can put a climbing anchor here to make it a bit safer. This might be our very last one though. Oh no, we've got another set of 3, so we've got plenty. We haven't had many likes for our structures yet, but we haven't built very many structures, so and they've only been very simple ones. I can remember later on in the game coming back to some of the more complex structures when you got like thousands of likes and stuff. It's really cool. Should we put? Ooh, we could put another one here as well. We could just do climbing anchors all the way down if we wanted. Someone will probably appreciate it, so we may as well. We need to drop that. Again, you don't have to do this for this kind of a slope, but it just makes it certain that you're not going to fall, that's all. And I don't know, like I say, I'm just trying to put down as many structures as possible. Whoa, Sam. Sammy boy. Whoa. Can I do it? Yeah, there we go. This might drop us straight into BT territory, like. This might be a bad place to drop in, but hey. I think that there's quite a lot more of them here compared to the last place that we were at. So it's compared to the last place where we saw them. So it's a bit more. This area is a bit more dangerous. So we might get caught here. Just depends. We've done pretty well so far in terms of getting past the BTs.
Pretty fucking slow.
He's pretty close. There's quite a few of them here. This is going to be tough to not get caught. Oh hell, that's a lot of strands. don't know how we're going to do this. Apart from just go. As if we got away with that. There's no way. That's insane. We need to breathe. Oh, that's it. Okay, we need to run. Totally can do. Oh yeah. You can have a pee on them, and that they don't like that. Oh yeah, that's something we need to do as well, isn't it? We need to try. Oh. We need to try the grenades. That didn't really seem to do much except draw him towards us, really, did it? I think we're pretty much through the worst of it there. We lost his metals, but I'm not too bothered about that. We've still got the super important cargo that we need. And yeah, like I say, I think we're out of the worst of it, if not all of it now. Let's get these crystals up here and get out of here. Okay.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges.
So that was the first time you saw us get caught, I think, so far. Which is
Breathe easy, Sam. You're clear of BG territory.
Which isn't too bad at this point.
The gazers, the fall of America, everything. It warped the world beyond recognition. Humanity had to scramble like rats fleeing a sinking ship. But there's nowhere else to go. There's no future living like this. If we're to survive, we need to find another way. A way to overcome the BTs, the Death Stranding, the whole damn mess.
Delivering cargo.
Thank you. With this unit, we should be able to power the distro center via the chiral network. Other places too, if it works. Here's hoping the UCA can put our electricity to good use. Mind if I have a look? Incredible. How'd you get this here? You fly?
I wish, man.
All we need now is a connection to the chiral network. Go for it.
Start
Network bandwidth is a limited resource, and every structure you build consumes it. However, as you increase your connection level, the bandwidth available to you will increase as well.
So bandwidth is basically how many structures you can put in you can have in an area. More complicated structures take up more bandwidth, and later on we'll probably get to a point where we max out the bandwidth of certain areas. Okay. And we can now build generators. So the generators mean we can recharge stuff, which means we can recharge that bike. So soon we'll be able to drive a bike around, make things a bit quicker.
Did our part. Thanks again. You know, I heard the rest of your team was wiped out. Makes what you're doing all the more incredible. You're a one-man expedition. I hope Amelie's doing as well as you. Wonder if she made it to Edgenot City yet. It was her that put us in charge of the wind farm. I was with the group bringing up the rear while Amelie led the way. I've never met her in person, but it was an honor to travel with her all the same. When you see her, feel free to tell her I said so, huh?
Sam, got a moment? I ran an experiment with your blood. It seems you were onto something. After dispersing an aerosolized sample of your blood in BT territory, we observed reduced activity. While this is hardly definitive, as we have no other repatriates to whom we can turn for additional testing, it does suggest that the bodily fluids of repatriates are repellent to BTs. Mama had the idea of developing a weapon to test this theory. The prototype should be ready soon, and when it is, we'd like you to test it.
Sam, this is the perfect opportunity. We've almost got the whole region on the chiral network. All that's left is Port Knot City. Return to Capital Knot City so you can pick up relief supplies for Port Knot. By the time you arrive, we can give you the completed prototype in person. One other thing. It's not very often porters get out to that wind farm. While you're there, you should pick up any outstanding orders. No sense coming all the way back here empty-handed if there's work to be done. Have a look at that delivery terminal.
Okay.
Good work. New order available. Please access.
So you can kind of see the gameplay loop by now. As you as we progress, we unlock more stuff, and we need to share that memory chip data as well, and we can have more advanced ways of delivering stuff, and then we can deliver more, and that unlocks more, and all that. It kind of
Wonderful gift. Thank you, Sam.
kind of all kind of increase our abilities, kind of increase exponentially. It's really satisfying to kind of travel back through an area that's really easy after you've made it really easy by a really difficult journey the first time.
Thank you for your contribution.
Hey, great work. That wind farm you've brought into the network is essential for our continued expansion. By way of reward, I've added a little something to your PCC. A generator option. Generators recharge the batteries of all nearby devices. That includes machines, bikes, and other battery-powered vehicles.
Okay, we've got 4 PCCs, which is rather a lot. So we need to start using some of them. So let's have a look.
Congrats, Sam. You're cleared to take on open orders. While they're not as high priority as the ones specifically assigned to you, if you're already heading a certain way and you have room to spare, it couldn't hurt to do a little more, right? Just because they're not mission critical doesn't mean they're not important to someone. So why not do a good deed or two?
Okay. So orders for Sam. We've got resonance delivery, and that's 32 kilograms.
This is a somewhat unusual order. You're going to want to review the key points in the summary.
Yeah. So basically, we've got a time limit. Okay. We've got a ladder, have we? Alright, okay. Like I say, we've got far too many PCCs for what we can build. But anyway, so load all on the back, and okay, we're gonna have a look at that other order as well. It's probably going to be too much weight, to be honest, but we'll have a look. And we want to recycle that used PCC, used climbing anchor as well.
By handing over excess materials to a facility, you can increase the amount stored on site. Now, these materials can then be used later for equipment fabrication and so forth. Just remember that each facility has separate stores, and that the amount on hand differs from site to site. Don't get carried away.
Okay, so we can recycle these guys. Okay, so let's have a look at the other order there. We've got 3 actually.
Sam, double check the order summary.
Okay. 20 kilograms, but that's going all the way back to Capital Knot. That's going to the way station. 10 kilograms. We're already carrying 60, so I mean we could do. Let's have a look at the summary on this. Is there a So yeah, we could do maybe those 2, and then by going to those 2 places, we'll probably get some stuff that will bring us back to the wind farm, and then we could do the metals to. We'll leave the metals to Capital Knot City until we're going to go back to Capital Knot to get the supplies to go to the new place. We're not going to do that yet. This is going to be a lot of cargo, but I think it's going to be worth it to do all these 3 orders at once. So let's cross his fingers and hope that we don't. Hope that we haven't taken on too much. We can use some PCCs along the way as well. Anyway, to so what can we make? We can make a.
Thank you for your contribution.
We can make a generator. That's probably the most useful thing that we can make. So let's do that.
Sorry, Sam. I can't allow you to build a structure there. Pick a spot outside the sensor ring and try again.
Where's the sensor ring? Oh, outside these bits.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
I'm pretty sure that the BTs have temporarily gone from this area.
Still not done yet?
We don't really have anything to recharge as of yet, but I just thought I'd put a generator down. Someone's very nicely built a bridge here. Been here for a while, so it would seem.
Today's a good day.
35,000 likes.
Thanks
It's
for
not doing
the
too
help.
bad. Level 3 bridge. But yeah, like I say, I think the BTs have temporarily gone from this area, which is why I was so I didn't think it would matter to take on a load of cargo. Is that? Can I, like I say, can I get rid of the tooltips? HUD settings, markers. Action icons, yeah. Equipment icons, that's all fine. Game settings. BT encounter warning. Shared content. Tips display. First time only. Yeah, that's better. So it'll still pop up if it's something we've not seen yet, but anything that we have seen, it shouldn't tell us about again. Because, like I said, it's been a long time since I played this game, so no doubt there's a lot that that's slipped my mind and I've forgotten about. But I think generally speaking, we don't need to see those tips. Where's my climbing anchors? They're over this way somewhere. They'll make getting back up a bit more sturdy, maybe even a bit quicker. We've got something for the Ludens fan. This is one of the guys that it's not necessary to actually meet this guy to kind of continue on the game. There's a few of them dotted about the world. Where's my climbing anchor? Is that it? I think it is, yeah. The ladder's cool, but it kind of leads us to somewhere where we have to climb more. Yeah, so there's a few characters dotted about around the game that have their own like kind of little shelters, similar to these places that we're going to now, but they're like the homes basically of a few randomers, and you don't have to visit those guys. They're like kind of completely optional. In fact, if you didn't seek them out in one way or another, you'd never know they were there. But they give you all sorts of bonuses, and if you want to get 100% connection in every area, then you need to seek them out. I think this just makes it like like a row of climbing anchors like this makes it. Should I pick up that I dropped and recycle it? I think I probably should, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think a row of climbing anchors like this just make like you just 100% know that you're not going to fall over for that stretch of the climb. I'm just not going to take this one and see. Yeah, it is a bit slower though, so okay. This might be a bad idea. Just going through a speed thing and. We get a bit of low raw going on. How heavy is that? We're getting to pretty much maximum now.
Looks like you've got an empty container there, huh?
Yeah.
Feel free to submit junk like that to Bridges. You might not have a use for it, but we do.
Yep. Okay. Cool. You see what I mean as well. Already in this, in the second episode of this, that there's a lot of the NPCs tell you really unnecessary stuff all the time. I want the chiral crystals. Back you go, Sam. I haven't uploaded the first episode yet, so I don't know if that one got like kind of copyright struck for the music. I seem to remember someone saying something about when the game first came out, everyone was getting copyright struck left, right, and centre. But then they're putting a kind of a concerted effort to stop it at some point, but I don't know if that's still the case. As long as videos don't get taken down and I don't get like strikes for it, I don't really care. As I was mentioned in the previous episode, it's I'd much rather have not have the ability to put ads on rather than play this game without music. Like, the music's so much a part of the game, it'd lose so much without it. And it kind of paints a dishonest portrait of the game as well. Like, the sense of catharsis that you get from being in an environment as beautifully crafted as this, with all the lovely like sound design going on, and you've been delivering for a long time, and then you get this really nice song like swell up as you're traversing the landscape that you're getting to know better and better, but as each delivery goes by. It's just yeah, like I say, it adds so much to the game, and they're really good songs as well. Whoever curated all the music, I'm sure Hideo Kojima had a lot to do with it, but I think he had official sign off on anything that was important. But yeah, it won't be the same game without the music, I don't think. It'd still be really cool, but it like, I don't know, it elevates it, it gives it like such a kind of a grandiose feel. And then Die Hard Man will say like, access the delivery terminal, when you stood right in front of the delivery terminal, about to do just that, and you're just like, okay, that takes me back out of it, thanks Die Hard Man. And your name also takes me out of it, but yeah. Ooh, Nelly.
Hey, hey, hey!
Oh, that'll be the metals that I dropped. The metals I dropped in that BT area, it just said cargo now viable for delivery by others. So every time I picked up a parcel that's been lost cargo, that's what happens. Like, it's cargo that someone else has dropped in their game, and then it appears in someone else's game after a certain amount of time. We're gonna have to change his boots sometime soon. Ooh, do you think we're gonna make it in time? 45 minutes target time. We're rocking 9 minutes 15. I think we're gonna cut it close here.
Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
And I think it's about time we took a rest as well. We did have someone had sent us a message there, like, why don't you take a rest? And I'm like, yeah, I think we might do that.
You brought this from the wind farm? I can't imagine what a chore that must have been. Thank you. Made record time. Wow, don't do things by halves, do you? Hard to believe one man could bring in a hole this big. Then again, you are a legend.
Thanks, man. Yep, all the stuff. Nice.
I don't know anyone who's done more to bring people together and get them back on their feet. It's hard to believe you're just one guy. Can't help wondering if the Great Deliverer isn't actually a small army. Because it sure seems like whenever someone's in trouble, you're there to lend a hand. It's enough to make me think you just might make it all the way to the coast. Good luck out there. I'll be rooting for you.
So we've almost got this place up to full connection.
Please access delivery terminal.
Recycle the climbing anchor. And we're going to need to make another one of them. Oh right, it's saying yeah, because we've maxed out all the materials at this place, it's not going to increase that value. I just want to get rid of it. I don't want it on my back.
Thank you for your continued support.
So we're going to have a rest, and then we've got to go to... Hopefully there's going to be another order for the other place that we went to on the way to here. We've got one for them, so hopefully there's going to be more.
Good morning, Sam.
I want you to look for some lost cargo. Okay. Let's get washed up first before we do anything else. Usually I would suggest going to the toilet before going to having a shower, but when your toilet is in the shower, it might be better the other way around.
EX grenade number 0.
And we'll go toilet both ways. And you'll see we get a different we get a different type of grenade for each type of fluid, shall we say.
Nice.
EX grenade number 1.
Well, that's a lot of EX grenade number 1.
That should suffice. Glad to see everything's in good working order. Another of our new EX grenades, the number 1. So named because it contains a vaporized extract formulated from your urine. Compared to our first iteration, this EX grenade contains a higher concentration of your fluids, which should make it more effective against BTs. Whenever you avail yourself of your private room's facilities, we will collect the results and produce additional units for your use. So you needn't worry about running out.
And number 2. Yeah, that advertisement is one of the other things that's a little bit how do you say cheap. Like to have real world stuff from like kind of our world in this game just doesn't feel right.
The latest in our line of EX grenades. I give you the number 2. As you may have surmised, this model was produced with various extracts refined from your fecal matter. We suspect that your regular consumption of cryptobiotes has led you to excrete certain compounds that may prove especially effective against BTs. If you would like us to produce more, you need only furnish us with the requisite raw materials via your private room's toilet. I look forward to your feedback.
Okay. Check on BB. Obviously, you got to check on I almost called BB something else then, but I'll save that till later. Gotta check little BB's doing okay.
Tired, huh?
Bond with BB strengthened. Connection level just over half a star. Cool. And we had some new messages. Again, it's kind of standard messages. I'm probably not going to read much of, but we get likes for doing them. So. They're just telling us basic stuff about the game. Okay. We got a whole bunch of interviews here. The Hartman stuff is probably going to be the most interesting. So we read his thing about Timefall last time. Maybe when I stop recording, I'll go through a few of these and pick out a few that are particularly interesting or something, like I said, and so I don't bore you all to death. And the memory chips, if you remember, we did one. I handed one of these in. You just find these around the world. God of War original video game soundtrack, and they're just like little Easter eggy type items with little description. You can see there's some like figurines and little cars or bikes or whatever. I think they're all bikes actually. And other bits and bobs like soundtracks and works of art and all that kind of stuff. Some more tips, and yeah, some more low raw, and all is good. So I think it's probably about time. It's probably about time we ended this episode. I think we're clocking on over 3 hours now. So as much as I could play this game all day, the time to edit and upload to YouTube. Well, I don't do much editing really for these kind of gameplay videos, but if any at all. But yeah, I've got to keep that in the back of my mind that any problems with the video after a certain length, then I could have problems in even getting it up onto YouTube. So yeah, let's hit a save here. And yeah, so like I said, in this episode, it's been it's been kind of an introduction into the it's been kind of an introduction into the basic gameplay loop. There's obviously going to be lots of cutscenes and set pieces and stuff as we go through the game, but this is kind of it. We're connecting. I see we've got the Ludens fan appearing on the map now. I wonder if that's because we picked up a package for him. And there's another guy around here somewhere. But like I say, I'm gonna try and get 100%, like max out everyone's connection levels as we go through, and I want to kind of show you the original experience that I had when I went through the first time of trying to like kind of maximize all the connection levels and have a really kind of well built up world where it starts to be that delivering gets really efficient, and it kind of changes the game. It's really interesting. But yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys. If you made it through this far, then I appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the game, a lot and you've not played it, then it pains me to say, but you should probably stop watching this and buy the game and go play it. But if you're just enjoying watching, then that's all good as well. So catch you in the next one, guys, and have a good one. All right, cheers. Bye.